Right, this is the year that I'm going to finish this project off and get it out on the road. It's been sat dormant for 8 months, again. Sorry about that, I've been moving house. But this should be one of the last videos that I make on it, because by the end of this, all of the parts will finally be on. Well, the ones that I have anyway. I think I've made you wait long enough, so let's get into it. Right, so I need to pick up where I left off. Only problem is, it's been that long I can't actually remember what I had left to do, and when I moved house, everything just got shot into a cardboard box, so there are bolts everywhere. There are some obvious things that need to be done. I still haven't fitted that extended chain, and once that's back on, the sprocket cover can be bolted back into position. And I remembered that I left pretty much all of the plastics loose as well. This was because I was going to take all the panels back off and wrap the bike, but I tried to wrap the fairings the other day and failed miserably because I'd bought some really crap vinyl. So for now, the bike is staying white. After sorting through the box of parts, there really isn't that much left to install. There's the chain, like I mentioned before, mirrors if I decide I actually want to run any, and I've got to figure out a way of mounting the registration plate, because since I lowered the bike, I don't think the mount which sits under the Tochi exhaust will be any good to use. I also have to figure a way out of adding some indicators somewhere on the rear of the bike, but I've kind of got an idea what I need to do there, so I might leave that for the next video since I haven't actually got any of the parts I need right now. There were a couple of daft little things I was going to throw on, like tyre stickers, a boot to tidy up the kickstand, and a duck, because, well, why not, eh? But the first thing to do was to take those reflectors on the front wheel off. You literally have to undo one 10mm nut and remove them, and I just popped the nut back onto the through bolt because it looks like the same bolt what holds on the front mudguard. The previous plan was to paint the mid-pipe of the exhaust system matte black since it wasn't available to buy powder coated anymore. But I've grown quite fond of the silver pipe for now, so I've just decided to nip all of the bolts up on the system which I'd left loose. It's possibly something I'll change my mind on later on down the line, but for now, with the bike staying white and it having other silver accents dotted around on it, it can stay as it is. Now, a normal person would wait until the very end to add finishing touches like tyre stickers, especially when they have to refit all of the loose plastics. But I couldn't find the keys for the bike to get under the seat to access all of the bolts. I mean, I'm sure they'll turn up, but for now, I might as well just bang these on. I wouldn't recommend trying to do this in 5-degree weather because the vinyl just did not want to stick to the cold rims, but once they were on, they looked unreal. Right, it's time to fit this chain. After winding it around the sprockets, I was so close to being able to fit the split link, but not close enough. Luckily though, the stretch kit that I fitted comes with a wave tension in the chain which is just 10 times better than a standard GROM. You just need to slacken the Allen bolts either side of the swing arm extensions and then use this funky tool to rotate the part which the shaft sits in. Once that's spun around, it's a case of connecting the chain back together, sticking a bit of tension on and making sure that there's about 1 inch of play on the chain before nipping everything back up. Just make sure that your markings are the same on either side, otherwise you'll be crabbing down the road very slightly with a bit of camber. All I had to do then was refit the sprocket cover, and that's easier said than done when you can't remember what bolts you just took out, but I eventually got there in the end. Job's a good one. So today is the day that the fairings are going on as well. They come as a 3-piece kit. You've got the left and the right fairing and the little black rock guard or whatever it's called that fits in between them. All of the instructions were in Thai, so this is something I'll just have to figure out by myself, but it can't be too hard. After holding the panel up against the side of the bike, you can kinda get an idea of what bolts you need to remove. This Allen bolt up top has to come out and it'll be making way for a longer bolt when the time comes, and there's an 8mm bolt down near the shifter that needs to be temporarily removed so I can fit this little bracket. Once that's refitted, it's just a case of trying to line the holes up completely blind, and the other side is nearly identical. It's just the bracket which is slightly longer. You can probably tell that the paint doesn't match up 100% with the white of the existing panels on the bike, but it really isn't the end of the world. The last thing to go on is the little stone guard, as I like to call it, that goes in the centre of the two fairings, tying everything together. This just basically stops any flex that was in the fairings beforehand. The kit did also come with a couple of self-tapping screws which you need to plough into either side of the bike, but I really don't fancy doing that. They're solid enough like this. And it might just be my opinion, but I think it looks absolutely awesome. Sometimes you see these fairings fitted to GROMs and it really doesn't work, but because I've lowered the bike, I genuinely think it looks great. What have I got left to do then? Well, there's the registration plate that'll need to get mounted somewhere, and I'm almost positive I need to fit some extra indicators to the rear of the bike for it to pass its MOT. The chain guide will probably have to go back on for the same reason too, but it'll need modifying ever so slightly for it to fit properly now, and all of the plastics need properly aligning and tightening up. This video is long enough now though, so I'll wrap it up and hopefully next time we can conclude this mini build series and get it out on the road to some shows. As always, thanks for watching, comment down below to enter the monthly giveaway, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!